Williams flash, MPU, and driver board came to me for rehab, and the client had begun to remove some ICs and decided it was something best left to a pro. So he sent it to me. Now, what do I do with this board? First of all, the interconnect, the 40-pin interconnect, both sides is replaced. Added NVRAM. Put a staple in here to make sure that the backside to front side continuity supports this chip. Verified the flipper ROMs and burnt a new IC14 game ROM. Puts all the code on one ROM, so you don't need these other 3 sockets. Replace this incoming filter cap. I think it's just a good thing to do. Replaced all the headers all the way around on both boards. So they've got some nice, shiny new headers. This, the driver board, since this is a flash, this particular tip 102 isn't used, nor that 4401. Somebody had repurposed it to probably down here where you see this carbon that'll come off when I clean up this board. But so I put it back on there just in case this board ends up in a different game. Also, I like to add a blanking indication LED. When that LED comes on, that means the blanking signal is allowing the board to run, so on equals good. Replaced all these sockets here, these 4 here, plus the processor socket, and this baby is good to go. So let's power it up. And powers up in the normal mode for a 3 through 7 game. The score display is toggling between the last game and the high score to date. Lamp matrix is active, and the only coil that's on is the coin lockout coil. It's flashing the flashers here a little bit, you can see, in attract mode. Let's put it into test. And the first test is display test. We certainly expect all those to be working properly, and they are. And the next test is lamp test. So it turns on all 64 lamps, alternately on and then off. The next test is coil test. So it'll run through 1 through 16 here, and again, the LED that's lit is the coin lockout, and when it gets to that, it'll turn it off, and it'll stay off. And then these are the special solenoids. And you can see all those were firing also. Now I'm going to take a ground wire, and I'm going to ground the switch inputs here for the special solenoids, so you can see that the switch function is working also. And there are 6 since I've reconnected that tip 102 and 2N4401. So this board set is working properly. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to do switch test. So I've got my Pennytech tester here. Let me get that connector back on. That I've somewhat modified. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to switch hands here first. I'm going to go through all of column 1. I'm going to go across row 1, just as far as this game goes. Now the last switch on flash is switch 48. None of these other switches to the right of it, column 7 and 7 or 8 are used by flash, so they don't test. But everything is working properly with this switch matrix now also. And that is the last test. And it'll run through the audits. And we'll reboot the game. And it's back up and running again, you see. So, all in good shape. Thank you very much for sending it. I am going to get it right back to you as soon as I can. And this is the soundboard that came in with those flash CPU and driver board. So I'm going to put it through its test. And yes, that's all it does. We can ground the individual inputs here to make it play individual sounds at some of the pins. Here we go. This pin doesn't play anything. And that pin only stops the whatever's playing. So this one is working just perfectly. Again, thanks for sending it.